Hey guys, hope you're well. It's Alessio, and welcome to another update on Bitcoin. Now, before we talk about Bitcoin and the charts, I just want to give you a quick update about something I mentioned to you a few months ago. If you recall, last year I published a video talking about the fact that my car got stolen. By the way, guys, if you hate cars, if you don't want anything to do with cars, you can if you want. Just fast forward to this section of the video. But a warning, you'll miss on all the fun. So just to give you a quick update on that car situation before we talk about Bitcoin, as I mentioned to you some months ago, my Mercedes E-Class Coupe, which I loved, got stolen last year. So essentially my first choice was to buy or lease another Mercedes E-Class Coupe. Now, as it turns out, I did a lot of research into this and I found out that the new E-Class Mercedes Coupe just isn't the kind of car that I was looking for. It doesn't have the right shape. It doesn't have the right style, put it that way. And for me, style is really important. So when I looked at the E-Class, I got to tell you guys, Mercedes does a lot of good cars, but the new E-Class just doesn't have the right shape. It looks a bit flat on the back. It just lacks the kind of sleekness you'd want in a car. So for me personally, when I compared it to the C-Class Mercedes, for me, the Mercedes C-Class, the new ones anyway, the coupes are better looking and just have a much better style. By the way, I'm not the only person who's saying this. Even the Germans agree with me on this. Take a look at this.
19-inch rims, optional ones. This area here especially. I mean, they are somewhat resembling, but this one is just sleeker, especially in this area. And to me, this makes this car a little sportier, a little bit more beautiful. I mean, especially the side profile. You can look at this car for ages. This one here is my beauty favorite, for sure. I would take the convertible to drive open top, but this one styling-wise, for sure. And especially as the E-Coupe has this split in the rear windows, that looks a little bit weird. And this one sleek a little bit in the rear line. The C-Class is the better package.
So guys, as you heard there, the Germans are correct on this. When you compare the C-Class to the E-Class Coupe, the C-Class is by far the better looking, the better style. Even with the 19-inch sort of wheels, it just looks better, has a much better shape. And for me, guys, a car has to be curvy and sleek for it to be beautiful. For me, a beautiful car is like a beautiful woman. It has to be nice and curvy. A bit like Kate Winslet, I think. Anyway, bottom line is my decision was not to go for the Mercedes E-Class, but go for the C-Class Mercedes Coupe, which actually I have to tell you, I really love. I think my decision on this was correct. Now look, if Mercedes decides to change the E-Class later in the future, I might go back to it again. But for the moment, I'm very happy with the decision I made so far. And let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with me on this in the comments. By the way, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, why didn't I choose some fancy car like a Porsche or Aston Martin or something like that? As I mentioned in my previous video, and as Robert Kiyosaki says, it is better to save your money and put that money into real estate. You know, why put your money into a depreciating asset class like a car? All right, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin. In this video, what I want to do is draw your attention to a chart of Bitcoin that I've been obsessing with for many months. I would say for the greater part of 2019. In fact, if you've been watching our member videos, which I hope you have, in the member videos, I kept mentioning this chart over and over to you in my previous member videos. And that is the monthly chart of Bitcoin. Why? Because guys, the monthly chart is a key important chart we should always keep an eye on, especially one key level, the 21 EMA, the 21 moving average on the monthly time frame. Because usually markets often tend to pull back. So often you see a correction after a rally. After a major rally, like the one we saw in 2019, usually see a correction, a sort of pullback to the 21 moving average. And I mentioned this over and over again in our member videos. Here's an example for you. On the next higher time frame, the monthly chart, we can see that Bitcoin also has held the 21 monthly chart, the 21 monthly average as well. On the monthly chart, worth just taking a look at the monthly chart here as well. Yeah, it's interesting. So notice how we're just holding that support at the 21 monthly average as well. So for example, if we were to hold this 21 monthly average, and if we were then to see a bounce that could take it above this resistance, that could actually be quite a bullish development. The monthly chart is still above its 21 monthly average, but as long as we're above the 21 monthly average, it's actually quite a bullish chart. So if we finish the month above the 21 monthly average, and assuming we can make a bullish breakout, this could be a potential bullish reversal on Bitcoin. So guys, as you heard there, I was talking about the member videos even back last year. And notice what I was saying was I need to see the price of Bitcoin holding above that 21 EMA, the blue line I showed you on that chart. And guys, I was quite surprised to actually see Bitcoin holding above that level. I actually began to think that maybe Bitcoin won't hold it, maybe go below it. I thought the price might close below that level, but it didn't. Actually managed to hold that level and close just slightly above that level, above the 21 monthly moving average. Now, in case you're thinking, well, why is that important? The thing is, guys, that usually when price closes below the 21 monthly average, we see another move further lower, often to the 50 simple moving average, or perhaps even lower to previous support. So I'm actually quite happy to see that Bitcoin held above the 21 monthly average. We actually managed to bounce off that level, off that 21 moving average, and we saw a green bar, as a matter of fact, above that key level. So what does that mean? Well, it means that a break below that level could be absolutely detrimental for Bitcoin. Now, don't get me wrong here. I actually don't think that Bitcoin even has to approach that level or go below that level for a potential major reversal in the price. As I mentioned to you before, a key support level that I'm looking at right now is by the 8,200 or 8,000 levels there on Bitcoin. I think a close below those levels is make or break essentially for Bitcoin, really. But look, bottom line is, if Bitcoin does fall below the 21 monthly average, then it's really bad news for Bitcoin, because that essentially could push it into a bear market. It could essentially push it into another retest of prior lows near 3,000. And even if not those levels, perhaps to the 5,500 or to 4,000 levels on Bitcoin. So in other words, guys, holding the 21 monthly average is really going to be important for the long-term picture on Bitcoin. Again, this is more of a long-term perspective that we're looking at on Bitcoin. So it's really important that Bitcoin remains above the 21 monthly average, which currently is about 7,200, I think. But bottom line is, guys, a break below that level could be absolutely detrimental for Bitcoin. Now, I should say, I don't expect Bitcoin to drop below the 21 monthly average. I remain bullish on Bitcoin, but it's just something we should consider in case that happens.